Alrighty, good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Hello, hello. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I am DSP, and I welcome you here to the second half of my streaming week. I will be here today, tomorrow, and Wednesday before I have my day off for the week on Thursday. And the goal for the next few days is simple: to have fun, but also to make good progress in the games that I'm playing, possibly even wrap up a few of these ongoing playthroughs that I've been doing, so that when I come back from break later on this week, we can actually start up with new stuff and prepare for the oncoming onslaught of games that we'll be releasing in the month of October, because the month of October is going to be quite crazy, to say the least. Yeah, it's going to be pretty out of control with the amount of stuff that's going to be happening, and I want to be sure that I don't have ongoing lingering playthroughs, especially for games that were on the shorter side to begin with. It'd be pretty silly to have games kind of left over unfinished, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, today is Monday, the 27th of September, 2021, and I welcome you here to my first of two gameplay streams. It's a cool autumn day here today. Only in the 60s, or actually it's in the 50s Fahrenheit outside, and a little rainy, cloudy, rainy. This is exactly the kind of weather that we typically get in the Pacific Northwest of the United States this time of year, and it's very relaxing for streaming and gaming. I have the window open. I have my oscillating fan on max blast. It is very cool in here and calm and nice. I love this weather for streaming. I really do. It allows me to comfortably enjoy gaming with you guys, not sitting here sweating it out or having any kind of annoying thing with lighting or anything. It just ends up being really nice. And that's why I actually feel this is the best gaming time of the year, not only for the game releases, but just weather-wise around here. I get to have a good time with you guys and not have many things that are annoying. Jasper Kitty is available to join us for today's stream. My wife is at work, which means all the doors in the house are open. And he's already walking in and out of the office back and forth here, enjoying the cooler weather, I'm sure. And I'm ready for some fun today. And we got some good news to talk about today. In fact, what I'm going to talk with you guys a little bit about today, this morning, is the state of this channel, DSPGaming, and basically how it's been doing ever since I became a full-time YouTube streamer as opposed to Twitch. By the way, take a look. Look at this. Jasper Kitty's behind me. He jumped up on the chair to be doing so. He's licking my hair. He's a nut. He won't stop. So, yeah. Gonna do a pre-stream with a cat licking my head. Yeah, good stuff to talk about today. It's definitely good stuff to talk about today in regards to how DSPGaming is doing as a whole. He's still licking me. Since the months, it's now been officially 4 months. People heading into their 5th month of membership on the channel who have been a member since day one. And that's awesome. And I'm happy that people are enjoying what's going on over here. We're going to talk a little bit about the ups and downs and how things have improved and changed since I came to YouTube as a full-time streamer this morning. It's good news, by the way. Like I said, I actually have some really good news to talk with you guys about. So, all right. So anyway, let's talk about what's going on for the next few days, so you guys know what to expect. Because actually, we have a few changes, I feel, to the schedule. And no, Chef Venus, I do not have gel in my hair. I never gel my hair. About 10 years ago, when I first grew out my hair, from having that crew cut that I used to have, I did put gel in my hair, and within a year, I started getting a bad skin rash from gel. I guess my skin is very sensitive, annoyingly sensitive, to the point where it was just having a bad reaction, itchiness, flakiness, rashiness. And I said, well, I got to do something to stop this. So I just stopped using the gel, and I actually don't need it. So that's not why Jasper's licking my hair. He's just a nut looking for attention. Okay, so let's talk about what we're doing today. Let's talk about the rest of the week schedule-wise, okay? Because there are some updates to that are pretty positive, I feel. I think you guys would like to hear these. And then we can talk a little bit more. All right, so today, Monday, we are going to be continuing on with Deathloop. Now, if things go very, very positively today, we may beat the game, okay? I don't know if it's going to go positively, and I don't know how much is actually left in the game, because the way the game works is that you need to unlock, through investigation and through trial and error, ways to assassinate 7 different targets all in one day. And so far, I figured out how to assassinate 5 of those targets pretty effectively. There's still 2 that we have to figure out, And once we figure those out, then we can go for the perfect run day where you try to kill all 7 in one day. And if you do, that's it. You've finished the game, and you're able to escape the loop, per se. All right? Admittedly, I actually thought that I would have a harder time doing this than I have. But the way the game works is as follows, because a lot of people don't realize this. The game is incredibly easy when you start. But as you start to kill off the targets during one day, the gameplay gets harder. The enemies you're fighting become more plentiful and become more alerted to your presence when they know that the big visionary targets that you're taking out one by one are dying. So if you start in the morning when no one's dead, everyone's just kind of hungover, being stupid, it's incredibly easy. But by the nighttime, if you've killed off most or all the targets, the enemies are now like on alert and constantly looking for you and to find you, and they gang up on you and kill you. So that being said, I think a lot of the time that I've been playing this game, people are like, oh, it's just too easy. But in truth, the thing is, that's how the game was designed, is that if you're doing it smart, you're not killing off every target every day. You're only killing off 1 or 2 a day, so that way everyone doesn't get alerted and you can easily figure out the stuff you're trying to figure out, you see? Although, admittedly, if every day I was killing off every target I possibly could, I probably would have way more upgrades and I'd probably have way more things unlocked. But at the same time, the game would have been so much harder, you see? So, what we're going to do today, we're going to try to finish it up. I don't know if we're going to or not, because there's 2 targets left, and each target seems to have a unique quest line that you kind of need to complete in order to figure out how exactly to line up and get them to be in a place that's easy to kill them. One of them, we have no idea. This was the one, his name is Wenji. This is the guy who has like 20 clones. And he was actually the first one we ever killed. And we had to keep killing all these clones through a building. But apparently we can't kill him at that time anymore, because we have to be able to kill someone else at that same time. So we have to figure out a different way to kill Wenji. Maybe there's a way to kill all the clones at once. I don't know. But we're going to try to figure that out. Okay? That's the goal for this first thing we're doing today, is how do you kill Wenji and all his clones. And then the only other person we haven't killed yet is the guy who's running the big party at night. He almost seems like he's the bigwig on the island. I forgot his name because we never even went after him yet before. But we already know how to line it up so that Igor, who's another one of the targets, will be at a party with him at night. Okay? So, what I'm guessing we do is we line up so that Igor's at the party, and then we try to take them both out at once. You see? It seems like the most effective way to go about it. So, that's what we're going to try to figure out today. How do you kill Wenji? And how would we break into this party and kill the 2 targets at once? And once that's figured out, alright, then we can go through the perfect day. Where during the 4 different time periods, we're attempting to wrap everything up and, okay, good. Sorry, I had an update email from someone that was important, and it's all good. Okay. Yeah, basically, we're going to see what happens. We might beat it today, we might not. If we don't beat it today, that's okay. We don't have to rush through it. It's a good thing right now. We're not in so much inundation with new releases right now. I don't have to go crazy to try to beat this game today. We have the ability to play it again later on in the week if I need extra time for it, okay? So let's see how today goes. All right, I'm excited to see if it is the conclusion. Great. If it's not, I'm still excited to see how far we can get and have some fun with Deathloop today. Okay? Good. Later tonight, on the late stream, it's going to be the continuation of Kena Bridge of Spirits. And you know what? I'm actually excited that I'm playing Kena tonight, because yesterday we did it as the major stream, and I made a lot of progress. I actually made a lot of progress in the game with clearing out that whole area that we had been in for like 2 streams, which is the Forgotten Forest, saving one of the people who needed to be saved, and basically they passed on to the afterlife. And then we headed into a new area with all new mechanics. We got this new ability to make things float, and we're experimenting with this, and basically just kind of started that area. But it seems pretty unique and interesting, and I'm having a good time right now with the game's new enemies and stuff that are opening up. I'm really enjoying myself. So, I can't wait for more tonight. It's good that we're not waiting several days to get back to it. I'm actually excited to jump into more Kena Bridge of Spirits later tonight and see how far we can get in this new area, okay? So that's later tonight at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Yes, the game is getting better, I feel. The further in we get and the more abilities you get, I think the game is much better. At the beginning, it was so basic, but now we've got arrows and charge shots, and we can slow down time when you're shooting your arrows, and now we've got the ability to make targets float and stuff, and things are actually getting better. I feel like the more complex it is, the more interesting it is. So later tonight, I hope you'll join me for that on the late stream. Okay? All right. Now tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we're returning back to Lost Judgment, the ongoing JRPG / action-based playthrough. Okay? And oh, okay, this is... Sorry. Got another email that's baloney. Okay. Yes, I'm really liking Lost Judgment, as I knew I would. Lost Judgment is a game that is the direct sequel to 2019's original game, Judgment. It's very much in the same vein, only there's a new fighting style, which is really cool. I like the snake style a lot. I think it's unique and different for the game. And now we've opened up with all of the new side content for this game, finally. The entire last stream I was doing side content, and I was having an incredibly fun time with this, okay? So, I'm very excited for more coming up. And I hope that you guys will join me tomorrow for a major stream of Lost Judgment. It'll likely be a mix. I probably won't do side content the entire time this time around. Maybe I'll do some more of the school club-based side missions, but then I'll probably move on and do other open world side content. But I'm sure we're going to get back to the story. I mean, I don't want to do 6-7 hours of side content and not advance the story at all. We'll probably do a mix tomorrow. Okay? So that'll be exciting. And tomorrow night, the late night stream is Hades. And that's cool because this Hades build that I'm currently working on, which is a adamant rail build, that's the gun. Oh my god, this is the most damage output I think I've ever done in the game ever. I am steamrolling and decimating everything in the game. We're literally about to fight Hades. So I might just completely demolish him, and if that's the case, I might do a second run with the adamant rail, similar build, to see, you know, if we can get a couple clears just with this gun, and that's going to get us into the second half of the amount of clears that we need to actually see the ending of the game. Okay, so I'm excited, and I hope that you guys are excited too, alright? Thank you in advance for chilling, for all this variety of stuff. Now, here's the thing. Wednesday is kind of up in the air. On Wednesday, I don't know what I'm doing, because if we don't beat Deathloop today, I'm going to need more time to play it and beat it, and that's probably going to be Wednesday's stream, okay? But if we do beat Deathloop today, then I'm pretty much open on Wednesday to do whatever I want, and if that's the case, I'm debating maybe jumping onto Game Pass, and on Game Pass, on Xbox Series X, just kind of grabbing something here or there, and playing something randomly to just see what it is. There's actually been quite a few different games added to Game Pass in the last couple of weeks that people have said, hey, are you ever going to check it out? You're going to do another Game Pass day? And I've been like, well, you know, as much as I enjoyed doing that last month, we haven't really had an opportunity to do it because there's so many releases that I'm juggling, you see? But it's very possible that maybe Wednesday we'll do that, okay? We'll see. And we'll go from there. But yes, I am feeling positive about possibly beating Deathloop today, and if that's the case, then Wednesday's freed up, all right? Wednesday night will be more Kano Bridge of Spirits. Now, the reports on this game are kind of weird because they said, oh, the game can be beaten in 8 hours. And I could see if in Kena, if you're literally just rushing through the game, you're not looking for any of the optional rot creatures, if you're not looking for upgrades, if you're not looking for any currency, if you're just rushing through and doing the story, maybe you can beat it in 8 hours, all right? Currently, I am about 7 hours into the game. After tonight, I'll be 9 hours in. So that means another stream Wednesday night would probably be 11 hours in. Personally, I don't think I'm going to beat the game on Wednesday night. That's just me being honest. I don't think so. I think that maybe at Wednesday night we'll start to reach the end of the game, but not yet. Maybe we'll just be heading into the end of the game. So we'll likely need at least another major stream of the game in order to finish it up. Okay, that's my thoughts. So Wednesday night, last stream of my week before my break. I'm thinking it's going to be a good session, but it's not going to be the conclusion of the game. Okay? All right. Thursday is my day off for the week. I will not be here on Thursday. I will be out and about running errands and doing important stuff. And one of the big things I'm doing on Thursday, I'm going to try to go to the local stores that are going to have Halloween costumes and Halloween decorations, and I'm going to try to get stuff, number one, to decorate the office for when I come back on Friday, but also to get an idea of what is out there for Halloween costumes so that we can get those categories going, and you guys can begin to vote on the category of Halloween costume that is coming up. Archibald, I have no idea why a moderator times you out. I didn't see it, and scrolling up, I don't even think I can see it. I don't know, man. Let me look. It might have been a mistake because you didn't even say anything, right? I think it was a complete mistake. Just a misclick. Let me look. Yeah, I guarantee you this was a mistake. Because I think it was accidentally a misclick that was, not meant for you. Because I'm actually looking at 2 other people who were timed out for good reason. And I think you were accidentally timed out. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't see a damn good reason at all why that would have happened. I think it was a misclick. So I wouldn't worry too much. Okay. So. Excuse me. So, Thursday, big day for me. I'll be out and about trying to get stuff ready for the month of October, okay? When I return on Friday, we have an option, guys, and I'm curious to hear what your opinion is on this, all right? Here's the deal. Originally on Friday, I was going to do Ask the King, which is my bi-monthly Q&A show. This is where I do a podcast-style show. I answer your questions live. Usually it's a variety of questions that people post up on my forums, okay? And also, it's a mix of things from Twitter, as well as questions that I get in the stream chat. Now, this month, we're doing things a little different. I'm also accepting members-only questions, because I've been using the community posts on this channel, on YouTube, to have members post up things, and this is one of the things that I've been doing. I told everyone, hey, you got an exclusive opportunity to get a question answered if you're a channel member this month, okay? So it's one of the big benefits. Now, I was thinking about this, and I was like, is there really a reason that I absolutely need to do this on Friday? Because I was thinking, first day back from break, do I really want to be doing a podcast, or do I want to be doing gameplay? And I was thinking, probably people want to see gameplay my first day back from a break. But in addition to that, I wasn't aware of this, but I was made aware of it about a day or 2 ago. The Super Monkey Ball Collection. This is including remakes of Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2 for modern consoles, comes out on Friday. Now, people had actually been asking me, since it was announced earlier this year, if I was going to check out this game, because I've never played a Super Monkey Ball game before, okay? Now, I'll be honest with all of you. I know that the Super Monkey Ball games are kind of silly. They're meant to be like challenging games, but it's not necessarily like a giant epic story-based campaign. It's meant to be a bunch of very challenging runs, right? Being that I've never played Super Monkey Ball before, I felt this is something that I should probably check out because I have no exposure to it. And a lot of the times when I play a franchise that I've never had exposure to, I end up enjoying myself a lot and seeing what I missed out on, okay? It's also discounted. It's not a $60 release you can get for $40 no matter what console you get it on. So I was thinking, yeah, this is kind of a shoo-in for something to play, and I was planning on playing it actually this year. I didn't know if I was going to play it on release because it would have depended on the release timing. But I thought it came out later on in the month. No, it comes out October 1st. And I was like, dude, that would actually be pretty cool if on Friday when I come back from break, first thing we're checking out a new game in Super Monkey Ball, right? I think that would actually be quite fun. So that's what I'm tossing out there. We could still do Ask the King on Friday, if you guys want. But it's up to you. We could also just do Super Monkey Ball instead. And if that's the case, what I would do is I would delay Ask the King until Monday. I wouldn't want to do Ask the King on the weekend, because the weekends we get a lot more people usually on the streams coming in to hang out and enjoy the gameplay. And I wouldn't want to have a podcast on the weekend. Probably would do it on Monday, okay? And I think that's fine. I don't see any reason why that's a bad option, right? Why does it matter if we do a Q&A show on Friday or Monday, okay? So, yeah, it's up to you guys. If you guys are completely and staunchly against doing Super Monkey Ball on Friday, we don't have to, but I thought this would be a good idea to do that on Friday instead. So then Friday would be Super Monkey Ball Collection premiering on the first stream, and then it would be Old School Street Fighter on the late stream, okay? And then Saturday would likely be more Lost Judgment paired with Hades, okay? Sunday would likely be the conclusion of Kena Bridge of Spirits paired with my Microsoft Flight Simulator stream, okay? And then Monday would be Ask the King, and maybe like Monday night, we could do either more Hades or more Super Monkey Ball. And then that Tuesday, maybe it could be more Lost Judgment. You see what I'm just saying? So we could kind of go through that week with a good balance of stuff. Okay? Does that sound good? I hope that sounds good. All right. All right, guys. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, unless something changes, which very well could be. I don't know what would change, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is that doing Super Monkey Ball on Friday and then doing Ask the King on Monday. So please, by all means, keep posting up your questions for Ask the King by typing exclamation point Ask the King into the stream chat. Keep doing that, okay? If you're a member, be sure to post up your members only Ask the King questions as well on the members only post on the community page of this channel. Do all that stuff. Do it. It's all good stuff. Please do. Please do it. And then we'll just reschedule the show for Monday. All right? I think that makes sense. Cool. Now, the big new releases for October actually start hitting October 5th, which is that Tuesday. Okay? What are the big releases? Hold on. Excuse me. It's absolutely disgusting. Alan Wake remastered. Okay? And that's paired with the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl game. Okay? Those are the two things that are coming out that Tuesday that are going to be pretty exciting. Now, once those come out, essentially what that means is that Super Monkey Ball likely is just going to become a late-night chill stream. I'm probably not going to be playing Super Monkey Ball as a major stream more than like 1 or 2 times. It's going to end up being late-night chill stuff. Okay? And that's good for variety's sake. What that also means is that likely I'm going to cut back on Hades, because Hades I've been playing like 2-3 times a week, and probably it'll only be ended up being 1 or 2 times tops a week. Although I want to keep playing it till I see the true ending. I got to make room for the new stuff. Okay? So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good mix. We're going to have Lost Judgment continuing. We're going to be balancing that with Alan Wake. You're going to see some Nickelodeon Brawler in there. You're going to see some Super Monkey Ball, right? Kana's going to be done. Deathloop's going to be done. We got good variety of stuff coming up this month. I'm excited for this coming month, October. And also, by the way, if all goes according to plan on my day off, that means that there will be Halloween decorations in the office starting this Friday. That also means there'll be Halloween-themed animations on the streams starting this Friday. And the big build-up to Halloween. Because on Halloween, I'm doing a Halloween gaming marathon. And you guys are currently nominating the games for that by typing exclamation point Halloween into the stream chat. Or again, if you're a member, there's a members-only post on the community tab where you can nominate games there. And what's going to happen is, come October, probably I give it like a whole week in October, but once that first week passes, then what we're going to do is take a look at the most nominated games and make some polls by which you guys will be voting on what games are going to make it to that marathon. And then in addition to all of that, yes, you guys will be voting on the costumes that I'll be wearing for Halloween, but we're not there yet. Like I said, I need to go to Halloween stores and see what they've got so that we can kind of categorize the costumes, okay? Fair enough? All right. Okay, guys, outside of that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else like, channel-wise that I want to talk about before we move on to the next segment, which is, I want to let you guys know how everything's going here on YouTube, okay? Let's just do, how about we just get the plugs out of the way? Let's just do that. Let's get the plugs out of the way so we can relax, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm an independent content creator. I don't have any partnerships or sponsorships with anybody. I am a man alone on the internet putting out content every day for you guys. Because I don't have a sponsorship or a partnership, it allows me to be honest with you guys on the internet and say what I truthfully mean about the games that I'm playing. I don't have to pull punches. I also don't have to kiss a game's butt. I can be very honest with all of you about what's going on every single time that I touch a video game. For 13 years, this has been my philosophy of content creation. And let me tell you, it's burned a lot of bridges, because I'm certainly not one of the people who gets freebies all the time, or gets sponsorships, or gets his butt kissed by these companies, because I tell it like it is. But you guys tell me you find value with my ability to be honest with you at all times. You really enjoy the fact that the content I put out is honest and transparent, and that's why you guys support it. My business is 100% crowdfunded by you, meaning contributions that I raise on my live streams is how I make a living, okay? And I'm so appreciative that you guys continue to support me with all of the highs and lows that we've had this year, having to move from Twitch over to YouTube full time. And that's one of the positive things I'm about to actually talk about after this plug segment is how things are going. And the news is good, to say the least. So thank you guys in advance for any contributions that you might give me on this stream because you like the content. All right? By all means, if you do like this style of content, please support it. This is how I make my living. Okay? So how can you support the channel? Well, number one, you can become a channel member. I've already mentioned a couple ways that you get good benefits from being a member. Some of those exclusive posts and nominations. But also, You get a cool highlighted name in the chat. You get a cool channel crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. And I think believe next month, actually, people will upgrade to their badges that are actually encrusted with rubies and emeralds. I can't wait to see those for October. That'll be neat. You get access to all of my emotes. Right now, we have 20 emotes unlocked, but once we actually hit 300 members, we'll unlock another slot. And you don't have to abide by the slow mode rules of the chat. You can talk as much as you'd like. So many benefits to becoming a member. Thank you in advance to anyone who does, and thank you to those who already are members. Okay? You can do a super chat or a super sticker. If you do those, that's a way that you can contribute through YouTube itself, where your message gets highlighted on the stream chat. And it's pretty neat. I like those. And those methods of contribution, memberships and super chat, super stickers, they all help me in the long term. When I get those methods of support, that's going to allow this channel to basically become self-sufficient in the long run. When I was on Twitch, we had, 900 subs, and we had so many cheers coming in that it helped tremendously. It really did, okay? When I moved to YouTube, we lost a lot of that, and that's what I'm working on building back up. So thank you to anyone who becomes a member or anyone who does a super chat or a super sticker, okay? Now, being very matter-of-fact here, the best way to support the channel in the short term is by tipping me. And there's two major reasons why tipping me is the better way to support the channel. The first is because when you tip me, I get those funds right now. If I need to buy a new game, if I need to pay a bill, pay my taxes, go grocery shopping, get a meal with my wife, whatever it may be, it's tips that pay for all that stuff in the short term, okay? Very much so, it's the behind-the-scenes support of the channel that does things like pay my big bills, like my internet bill and my mortgage and my car payments and stuff like that. But it's really the day-to-day tips that come in that allow me to do the day-to-day things that I need to do with my business, okay? The other thing is, when you tip me, those tips, I get more of a cut of a tip than I get of any other contribution. Every single contribution that you guys give me, someone makes money on it, right? Let's be honest here. No one's doing it for free, right? But when you tip me, I get more of a tip than I would get, say, of another type of contribution. You see? So, all that being said, please consider contributing in any way possible, whatever you'd like to do. It's not required, and I consider it going above and beyond being a standard stream viewer if you do support me in any way. But the preferred method, if you want to help the most, would be tipping. Since tips help the most, we have goals in effect as reward tiers, and if we hit those goals, you get rewarded. So, for example, if we raise $50 in tips, I'll put on a pair of Gunner glasses today. If we raise $100 in tips, I'll put on a hat of your choice. Now, because I've been playing new releases recently, I've been wearing my headphones at least once a day. No different here. When I'm playing Deathloop today, I will be wearing the headphones. And that means the hats eligible for today's stream will be the digital, the camo, or the fake hair hat. Reason being, those three hats all allow me to wear headphones. Now, next month, I'm supposed to be getting a new set of headphones that are actually called like neck phones. You wear them around your neck, and they're supposed to project surround sound up to your ears in open air. And this is supposed to be new technology that was designed by Hori that sounds really good, but it apparently doesn't make a ton of noise in the atmosphere. I'm hoping it doesn't interfere with the streams. Like, hopefully it doesn't pick up on the mic too much. And if these work well, then that means I would not have to worry about what hat to wear anymore. I'd be free to wear any hat on any stream, and I'd even be able to add some really silly hats if I wanted to. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Sounds good. So anyway, hats today, digital, camo, fake hair. Now, if we raise the full tips goal on the stream today of $150, it would help me tremendously if we did. And if we did do that, you guys get to pick a vest of your choice for me to wear. All right? Vests today, I'm just going to go with all the most popular ones again. So we're going to say the red, the platinum, the denim, and the gold are all eligible for today. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Thank you in advance to anyone who contributes in any way. I really appreciate it, and thanks in advance for that help. Okay? Now, let's talk about what I wanted to talk about, because really there's no gaming news going on today. I checked. There's really nothing going on in the realm of news at all. It's a pretty slow day today. So rather than gab about random shit, I want to talk about DSPGaming, the YouTube channel. I want to talk about what's been going on ever since I moved from Twitch over here to YouTube full-time, the challenges we've had, the ups and downs, and I want to tell you a little bit about the status of how things are going. Okay? So just to give you guys some background, DSPGaming has existed since 2010. The reason that I created this channel on YouTube is because I used to have a channel called Darkside Phil, which obviously is the name and moniker that I go by on the internet. That YouTube channel, Darkside Phil, ran from the year 2007 all the way through 2010. It was where I put my original content when I first became a YouTuber. But in 2010, I started seeing my very first issues with false copyright claims. I was getting people impersonating companies like Rockstar Games and then later on Ubisoft, claiming that I was violating their copyrights and wanting me to take down videos. Okay? It got so bad that my channel got suspended for nothing. None of it was legitimate at all. Okay? It was all faked. But back then, YouTube didn't actually confirm anything. They just granted every false copyright claim, if you can believe it. So, at that time, I said, well, I'm not going to give up on being a YouTuber. This is ridiculous. By the way, back then, I wasn't doing it for a living at all. It was just me doing it for a hobby. I was a few nights, well, I would say a few hours, pretty much every day of the week, 2-3 hours of gameplay I would upload to Darkside Phil. But when the channel got suspended, I said, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to split up my channels. I'm going to have a channel just for vlogging. I'm going to have a channel just for gameplay. And I'm going to have a channel for Street Fighter content. And that's what I did. I ended up breaking up my content into 3 separate channels. So DSPGaming ended up being the channel for the raw gameplay content, the playthroughs, and all of that. And ever since then, that's exactly what DSPGaming has been. A place whenever I'm playing a video game, I put up the raw, unedited playthroughs on DSPGaming. That's never changed over the years. Now, what has changed is that sometimes I'll put year-end series on the channel, sometimes I won't. Sometimes they went to other channels. Sometimes game reviews went on the channel. Sometimes they didn't. Sometimes I was uploading them to other channels, you see. But it was always the consistent place you could go to see my full, raw, unedited game playthroughs. Okay? Now, over time, things change. Originally, I was just an on-demand content creator, meaning that I was making videos that people would just watch on demand on YouTube. But eventually, people wanted to see me evolve. They said, hey, can you start doing direct capture? Can you start live streaming? And so in 2013, I decided to make those changes, and I did start doing direct capture and live streaming instead of using a camera to point at my TV, which was very, very old school style. It looked bad. It sounded bad. So 2013 is when I upgraded everything. Okay? So when I did that, I became a live streamer, but not really. And what I mean by that is, when I started doing that, I pretty much ignored the live audience. A lot of people who were live streamers said, oh, we're going to interact with our audience. We're going to have conversations. We're going to react to people saying stuff about the game and helping, but also contributions coming in. I didn't want to do that because my overwhelming amount of positive audience feedback was saying, we like the way you make your content on YouTube. We like that when you're playing a game, you're focused on the game and you're basically commenting constantly on the game. We don't want interruptions. So, no exaggeration, from the years of 2013 all the way to early 2017, I live streamed daily and never interacted with the audience. Very rare when I would, unless it was a special series where it was meant to be interactive. Almost always, I kind of ignored that there was a live audience sitting there, okay? And admittedly, I feel like I missed out on a ginormous opportunity to improve myself and my content during those years. Admittedly, I felt like there was huge stagnation and I was not enjoying what I was doing for a living after a few years of doing that. I actually got really bored, okay? Just being honest, how many years are you just going to talk to yourself playing a video game, right? You get bored of it. What the frick, man? It's the same thing every day, stream in, stream out, okay? And so, DSPGaming essentially was a channel here on YouTube that archived streams that weren't streams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still uploaded in this style as if the videos were on demand and there was no interactivity and everything. It was very weird, to say the least, the way that I treated the channel. Sadly, during a lot of these years, when I was doing videos like that, people basically turned on me. I had people who basically were out to get me. And I had people who put booby traps in place. They would give me fan art and say, use this fan art on your stream. So I would. And then 4 or 5 months later, after using the fan art, oh, we're going to copyright claim all your videos you ever used the fan art in. Yeah, it was really bad. It was a ton of false copyright strikes that were issued against DSPGaming. And at that time in 2015, the channel was decimated. I went from having this channel be one of the top gaming channels on YouTube, meaning when you were searching for a new game release on YouTube and you were looking for someone of doing a playthrough or a let's play of it, I would arguably show up in the first 2 to 3 pages of YouTube search always. every fall when all these new games were coming out, I would get a giant influx of new viewers. Thousands of new viewers coming to the channel just to check out the new games because, again, I was one of the more highlighted channels. I had been doing it for so long, my channel was entrenched in the search results as one of the top gaming channels. In 2015, that all changed because of the false copyright strikes and the fact that I had to delete hundreds of videos that had artwork in them that were being falsely claimed. I basically destroyed the channel. I was forced to. It was either that or the channel was actually going to get stricken into oblivion and not exist anymore, okay? So what ended up happening is this channel went from being one of the most prominent gaming channels on YouTube to essentially falling into obscurity. Now, luckily for me, I have a very loyal, dedicated, and grateful fan base who enjoy what I do on a daily basis and said, we don't care that people are shitting on you and doing these horrible things to you. We're going to stick with you. And even though the channel essentially kind of fell apart, all right, and the views went way down. You can look over the years like 2015 to 2017, 2018, the views went boo, and it was nothing I could do. The channel refused to show up in YouTube search. The only thing you could find if you searched for DSPGaming was drama videos because my channel didn't show up in YouTube search anymore. Okay? So there you go. And then what ended up happening was in 2017, YouTube had a really big problem. It was called the Adpocalypse. I don't know how many of you were around here for when this happened. But essentially what happened was YouTube was finally called out by major corporations for basically being lazy as hell. And what I mean by that is when it came to their ad distribution, YouTube would literally just slap ads on any old video. They didn't review the videos for content, and they weren't actually checking to see that if they put an ad on a video, that ad was being effective in selling a product. Instead, they literally would blanket group in everyone into getting ads, and any ad would show up on any video. So there were major corporations like Walmart, Starbucks, who were looking at videos that were talking about terrorism, videos that were talking about religious extremism, and really like nasty stuff that had their advertising slapped on them. And they were like, we don't want this. If you remember, this was actually at the time, PewDiePie had put out, I guess, either a stream or a video where I guess he had maybe said the N-word or something like that. And an advertiser saw that their ad was on the video and they flipped out. They were like, that's it. And all these major advertisers, pretty much within the course of 1 week, pulled the plug on their ads on YouTube. So overnight, people who were making a living on YouTube like me on ad revenue lost their livelihood. Like, it was like, wow, I'm all of a sudden making less than half what I was making a week ago. What the hell's going on? And YouTube had no answers for anybody. Basically, we fucked up and we're not going to fess up to it. Okay? So when that happened, I had to change up my formula. I knew there was no way I was going to be able to make a living doing these on-demand videos on YouTube, ignoring a streaming audience. It just wasn't viable anymore. Okay? Maybe it would have been if I hadn't had that major issue happen to DSPGaming in 2015 where the channel fell out of search results, but it did. Okay? What can you do? I couldn't help the fact that trolls hit me with false copyright strikes and destroyed the channel, and now it doesn't show up in search anymore, you know? It was one thing to have that dip happen, but then to have that dip happen and then have my ad revenue halved, I wasn't going to be able to make a living anymore. Okay? So, what I decided to do is change up everything. And pretty much we talked about it on streams together, and on the fly we decided I was going to try to be a full-time streamer, which means my content was going to change completely. I was going to interact with you guys on every stream. We were going to have fun conversations, shout-outs for contributions, and it was going to be the contributions on streams that were going to keep me afloat. Everything changed in 2017, okay? And since then, in 2017, I've been streaming on Twitch. I went to Twitch TV, and I was streaming daily on Twitch TV. People all said Twitch is the best place to be for streams. You want to be on Twitch. It's got the best monetization options with cheering and subs and stuff like that. And, you know, everything is working with Twitch now. Twitch streaming is the place to be. You want to go there. So I did. And I streamed on Twitch daily from 2017 all the way until about 4 months ago. So 4 years of my life dedicated to building up a streaming audience on Twitch. And I really enjoyed doing that. But what I've seen over the years is that sadly, very sadly, Twitch changed as a company. Twitch completely changed as a company. They at one point they had a actual partner manager working with me. So if I had any issues, I had someone to talk about. We could work through the issues. If they felt I had done something wrong or not up to the code of conduct on stream, yeah, I would get in trouble for it. But then they would explain to me how it would work and how to come back from it and how to be better. And that was awesome. That was an awesome time. It really was. And then Twitch changed and decided they're not going to have partner managers anymore. They're not going to have any of this. Instead, they're just going to blanket punish people for things without even explaining to them what they're doing. Twitch became a website that became more focused on making money than actually the content that was being put out. So you ended up seeing really disgusting, sexualized streamers doing things like sitting in hot tubs in bikinis, licking virtual ears, and just doing really nasty fucking things that don't belong on a site that you're supposed to have your kids going on to watch video games. Okay? So with all that happening on Twitch over the years, finally earlier this year, kind of the crap hit the fan. Out of nowhere, with absolutely no warning and no explanation as to why, Twitch kicked me out of their partner program. It's not like I had gotten several warnings and people were worrying me and saying, oh, here's what's going on. You know, you're in trouble because you're doing the wrong things. Literally, they just said, you're out, and kicked me out for no reason at all. When I inquired why this happened, it took them over 2 weeks for their legal team to respond with a very form letter response saying, oh, you violated our code of conduct for hate speech. And that was it. I said, all right, you're required by law to provide me with evidence that this happened. You can't just say it happened and kick me out. Per your own terms of service, you have to prove it. So tell me what I did wrong. Show me evidence. Or reinstate me and apologize because you made an error. They did neither. They just decided to ignore my request, which, by the way, is against the law. So I had a choice to make. Am I going to stay on Twitch, or am I going to try to do something somewhere else? For at least 2 to 3 weeks, I said maybe I'll try to tough it out on Twitch, although I knew without having revenue from things like subscriptions and cheers, only making money on tips was going to be an absolute nightmare because a lot of people didn't want to contribute via PayPal with tipping, and I didn't know how I was going to make it happen. Okay? I didn't know how I was going to make it happen. So, that being said, I did try to do it for 2 to 3 weeks. And then what happened? Twitch suspended my channel without even telling me why. Okay? Come to find out, on a stream of Returnal, of all games, what a great game, I had basically got marbles in my mouth. And I had basically said like half of one word and half of another together. And it was just a jumble of stuff that didn't make sense. It wasn't even a word. It was just, misspeaking in an action, a big action sequence going on. I was trying to survive while reading the screen. I was like, blah, blah, blah. I said something that wasn't even a real word. Okay? Come to find out, trolls had mass flagged it saying that I had said the N-word. I didn't. You could listen back to the clip a million times. I never said the N-word. But Twitch is so stupid, they've just blanket believed it and suspended my channel without any kind of real confirmation. I disputed it, and within 2 hours, they removed the suspension. But I said, man, that's enough for me. Number one, they're going to kick me out of the partner program without justification at all, right? With no justification at all. How are you going to tell me that that's acceptable, right? And then, oh, now you're just going to try to stream even without being a partner. We're just going to suspend you for things you didn't do. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was done with that. Okay? So, as of 4 months ago, which would have been, what was it? Like I believe May? Because I tried to stick around there for April. If you remember, I'd done a Resident Evil 8 playthrough, and I was doing a few other things, and that's when I was playing Returnal, all of a sudden, they suspended my account, and I said, enough is enough, I'm out of here. So I started on YouTube full-time about 4 months ago, all right? And first of all, let me just thank any of you who were here 4 months ago for that transition, because my God, it was not easy. Well, I'll openly admit it was a very rough transition because things here on YouTube are very different than how they were on Twitch. This isn't even a dedicated chat room. This is an ongoing comments system that's very hard to moderate compared to Twitch. And I didn't have the tools here that I had over on Twitch. We lost a lot of the awesome stuff that I had on Twitch, like the ability to do points, channel points for frequent viewership and being able to like wager those points on certain games, which is really fun. We lost that ability. I lost the ability to moderate the channel in ways that would stop trolling and stuff. So, essentially, it was a huge change. And I know that. And I want to say again, thank you to those of you who made the change with me, were willing to make the jump. We lost a lot of people. We absolutely did. We lost a lot of people along the way, guys. On Twitch, regularly on average had between 300 and 400 viewers. Here on YouTube, I average between maybe 200 to 300. So we lost 100 viewers daily on each stream that I do. We used to have 900 subs. I mean, let's be honest here, a lot of those were probably gifted. So even if you want to argue 300 were gifted, we still had around 600 subs on Twitch. Here I've barely gotten 300, not even. You see? So a lot of people didn't come along for the journey. And that's sad because that was 4 years of my life that I really worked hard to build a community that people enjoyed being a part of. And people told me they loved it. That what I had created on Twitch was something amazing and positive and fun. They got use and meaning out of it. And they were sad to see it go because Twitch treated me the way that they did. Okay? So it is what it is. But what I also want to say is thanks to those of you who jumped on when I started on YouTube. Because a lot of you have actually told me, I didn't watch you on Twitch for various reasons. A lot of people said the bandwidth over there was terrible. The bandwidth use of the videos and the streams, you couldn't even watch. You came over here and now everything's like, wow, I can actually see your videos and streams. Everything's good, right? So thank you to those of you who have been along the way with me here, okay? And I really appreciate the fact that you've put up with the transition and the pains of doing that transition, okay? I know it wasn't easy, but just to give you some example of some of the things that we got here that have definitely improved things since I came over. Number one, sub-only mode. For the first 2 to 3 weeks that I was on YouTube streaming, I didn't have control over the chat. People literally could come in and say whatever they wanted. They could make an account that impersonated anyone and could literally just come and spam the chat. We had days when we had 40 people with the same name coming in and all trolling. And the mods were going nuts like, how the fuck do we control this? Right? How do we do this? Because the moderation here on YouTube is not easy. It's actually much harder than it was to do on Twitch. So, yeah, it was like a nightmare for the first few weeks. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I got sub-only mode. Meaning, you have to be subscribed to the channel for 24 hours to talk. I don't know why I got it, because apparently it's something that a lot of people have been asking for, but it never had been granted. And all of a sudden, I got it out of nowhere. I don't know if it was just blind luck that YouTube gave it out to everyone on that day, or if they had heard my plights on my streams and wanted to help out and someone willingly activated it on my channel. But my God, it was a godsend. Before then, you couldn't even talk in the chat. Literally the entire chat was spammed insults and stupid shit. And now we actually have, in my opinion, in the last 4 months, we've built a chat that's now actually better than the chat was on Twitch. Seriously. Even though there's less people on stream, the chat is more meaningful. We can have better conversations. We can actually have more detailed conversations because it's not just nonsense being spammed every 2 seconds. You see? And that's a great thing. So, thank you again to those who kind of put up with that. The early days. So other improvements. If you haven't noticed, YouTube has added a few new things over the past few months. They literally just added the ability that when you remember up, become a member or renew your membership, you can now put a message into that. You couldn't even do that before, which is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. But yeah, now you have that ability, which is nice. And what I'm hearing through the grapevine is that YouTube is essentially working on adding a lot of things to this that we had on Twitch that we lost, And it's a shame because, let's be honest here, if there was the ability to gift a membership, I guarantee you around this time of year, the busiest gaming time of the year, and essentially around Christmas, people probably would want to be generous with each other and gift memberships. And you can't do that on YouTube. That's a major shortcoming, for sure. That's a major shortcoming. But I feel YouTube is at least trying. I just wish that they would do better. I really do. I really wish that they would actually put more improvements in more quickly. I don't know why we have to wait 4 or 5 months to get a minor improvement on YouTube streaming. It doesn't seem to make sense. You would think that they would have more ability to do things more quickly, but I don't know if it's a priority for them or what. One thing that I will definitely tell you that's frustrating with YouTube streaming is that we don't have a dedicated chat room. I love having a dedicated chat where you guys can hang out at all times. We don't have that on YouTube. Instead, I have to create a manual chat every single time I make a stream. And it's annoying because I have to keep doing these. Sometimes I forget because I'm busy or whatever or stressed out. And I'm like, and then I forget to do it. And then it's time to stream. And there was no chat room, so no one lined up ahead of time to be there for the stream. And then you end up with a slow start, right? That's very frustrating. And I'll be honest, there's definitely been growth these last 4 months, all right? When I started, we didn't even have a consistent 100 members. And then over the last 4 months, as you've seen, there's been membership growth every month. Now we're up to almost 300. And I would guess in the next few months, likely we'll get more and more, especially because of the new releases, but also the holidays and everything coming up. more people will likely try to support the channel, and I really appreciate that. But I'm nowhere near as much as I had on Twitch. I mean, you're talking the difference of 900 to not even 300. You know, that's a lot of lost income that I had over on Twitch that's gone now. And that's why, you know, a lot of these months I'm telling you about how it's tight and I'm penny pinching and stuff to make ends meet. And it's just natural. There's nothing I can do about it. I got to be dedicated here. And I have to try to really be dedicated to not giving up and knowing that in time things will grow. It was the same thing on Twitch. When I became a full-time Twitch streamer, it was like night and day, because all the time up to then was like, well, Phil, you always made a living on YouTube ad revenue. There's no way I'm going out of my way to contribute to your stream, so I guess you're going out of business. And a lot of people were very negative like that when I became a full-time streamer. But then over time, things got better. People realized, oh man, things are actually really nice. Things are, with this interaction now that we're getting and everything, right? This is fun. This is different. It's social. It's actually personable. It's very interesting, right? And I definitely want to have that continue because it's so much better than the content Phil used to put out. So then people did start to support that kind of content. And now here I am over 4.5 years later, and this is what people want from me. They don't want me to do on-demand videos where I'm ignoring you guys. You guys want to hear me talk with you guys and have a good time every day, right? And I'm here for it. I'm down for that, man. I really am. So, in general, okay, in the last several months, some of the things that have positively happened here on the stream, number one, this channel, DSPGaming, for the first time in years, actually saw subscriber growth. This channel was essentially stagnated and stuck around 187,000 subs for like 4 years. Ever since, literally ever since that issue happened with the false copyright claims and it kicked this channel out of YouTube search results and everything, subs completely stopped. People stopped subscribing to the channel because people couldn't find it anymore. Only legacy people were subscribed to the channel. I wasn't getting new subs anymore, okay? But now, there's a reason to sub to the channel again. People want to subscribe to know when I'm streaming so they get a notification. People want to subscribe so they can talk on the streams. So in the last few months in particular, I've actually seen a big upward trend of subs. I mean, we went from like 187 all the way up to now we're at around 194. And what's weird about YouTube that's really stupid is that you don't even know what to trust with YouTube metrics. What I mean by that is YouTube every month is telling me, oh, you have a lot of new subs. Like this month so far, it claims there's 900 or so new subscribers to the channel. All right. Wow, that's great. Then I go and look at the channel page where it says how many total subs I have, and it claims that I have less than I had at the end of last month. It's like, what? How does that make any sense? How did I gain 900 subs, but I have less than last month? I mean, that means one of two things happened. Either they did a channel audit, and they deleted a lot of accounts behind the scenes and never said anything about it, or we've got a lot of people who come and sub, but then they only sub so that they control the chat. They get banned, and then they basically that sub doesn't count for the month, you see? So it would show, oh, 900 people sub, but actually only like 100 stuck around or something. I don't know. Who knows? I doubt that it's I really doubt we're banning 900 people a month. That sounds ridiculous to me. You know, personally, maybe I ban 2 or 3 accounts a day, and I'm sure the moderators probably do that, you know, but it's no way that we're banning insane amounts of accounts, seriously. But anyway, it is growth. The first time we've seen growth in many, many years. And what I would like to do is if we ever hit 200,000 subs, which I would be actually happy about. The thing is, over the years, I never really cared about milestones on YouTube. I never really celebrated them. But the fact that this channel was so stagnant for so long, if we had 200,000 subs, I would definitely do some kind of a special celebration. I don't know what yet, but I would absolutely do some kind of a party-style atmosphere because finally, after years of stagnation, I actually would have been able to say, hey, we did it, you know? So that's cool. We'll see what happens. Right now, like I said, we're between 193, 194. We're still a ways off, okay? But the other thing I can definitely tell you guys is a huge positive, okay? In particular, the last 1 to 2 months, not only memberships, which you guys can see because I tell you every stream how many members we have, but the super chats and super stickers are way up. That is great because if that stays on that upwards trend, that means that every month it goes up a little more. It means that we're going to get closer and closer to what I was at on Twitch, okay? My goal is that ultimately I can hit what I was at on Twitch because if that's the case, then I'll be back to being good. I told you guys earlier this year before all this crap happened, okay, with Twitch. I was in a good position for the first time in many years. I didn't have much or any major debt in my name anymore. I was in a position where the money I was making, I was going to start putting it aside and saving it up for either, you know, an emergency or maybe possibly going on a honeymoon with my wife, and then eventually like saving up for improvements to not only the business here, the streams, but also my home and other things. Like, this was good. I was like, wow, I was finally in a position where I wasn't penny pinching and I was actually able to feel relief. And then Twitch kicked me out of the partner program and completely ruined all of that for me. Like, literally overnight, ruining my life that I had tried so hard to put back on track. They fucked me. And the thing is, with a corporation like that, they don't care. Really. This is what really irks me about a place like Twitch. And I actually want to put the camera on for a second here. 4.5 years of my life dedicated to building a following on Twitch, supporting Twitch, talking positively about Twitch and the things that they had done that were really good for myself, my life, and my business, right? And out of nowhere, with no warning, to be kicked to the curb like they did, with zero justification, that just proves they don't give a fuck about anyone. They just don't. They do not give a shit about anyone or anything. All they care about is this. Because I wasn't bringing them in giant amounts of money, they felt I was disposable. And they disposed of me without any actual justification. The funny part about it is, I don't even know if this would have changed things, because they did the same thing to Dr. Disrespect. And he was bringing them in tons of money. So I have to ask, what the hell is going on at Twitch, right? Like, what really happened this year with Twitch that these attitudes changed and they just start kicking people off the site with no justification? It doesn't seem to make any sense at all. But imagine working your ass off, blood, sweat, and tears, really dedicating yourself to something, changing who you are. Because as a content creator, I was a different person. I was doing on-demand videos. I was not doing interactive live streams. And I changed my entire method of content creation, okay, to be an interactive live streamer and make it work on Twitch. And they still didn't fucking care. They still kicked me right off the site and didn't give two fucks. Seriously. You know? And look what happens. It screws me up. It derails my life. Like I said, I was on pace to be in a situation where everything was going to be good for me and my wife and my family. We were going to be like, wow, we have extra money every month now I can put aside. And we can do this. We can improve this. We can do this. And that's all gone. It was taken away from me by Twitch because they're a bunch of essentially scumbags. Because when you have no moral compass and you just fucking do stuff like that and you don't care about the repercussions of your actions, you're a scumbag. Sorry, you are. You have no moral value at all on this planet. So I cannot support shit like that. That's why when people ask me, oh, are you ever going to go back to Twitch? No. Not unless they actually have a giant shift in management. And they outright say, we screwed up. We did a lot of bad things. We admit that now. We want to change for the better. Come on back. We promise you things are different. Then maybe I would consider it. I'm not going to go back there now. I'm not stupid. At any moment, they're just going to do the same fucking thing again with no justification. Sorry, I don't have money to sue them for 5-6 years like the guy who did sue them when the same thing happened to him years ago and he won the lawsuit. But I don't have that time or money. I have to move on positively with my life and not focus on the negative, which is why I'm here to tell you thank you, because things have been so much better on YouTube. Things are growing here on YouTube. The subs are going up, right? The engagement is going up. The actual support is going up. This is excellent. We can keep on this path. I'm very happy. You know, this morning I looked at my metrics for the month and I'm like, wow, things went up good this month. We can keep this going with all the new releases over the next few months. This is excellent. We can keep this momentum moving into next year with all the big new releases. This is great. All right? So thank you very much for supporting me here on YouTube. Even though we know, sadly here on YouTube, there just isn't a lot of the functionality that was on Twitch. Listen, I wish that if you became a channel member here on YouTube, you could carry my emotes over to other channels. I do. I wish we could have channel points here. We can't. The substitutes for having channel points are terrible. I looked into them. They don't work well on YouTube because it's all about the bot, and the bot is laggy and stuff. It's just terrible. It wouldn't be worth it. So it sucks that we missed out on a lot of the things that we had, but we're making the best of what we do have, right? Sounds good? Okay, and thank you. Because like I said, when I saw the positivity this morning, I was looking at my metrics. I was like, wow, things actually got much better in the last month. This is excellent, man. We got to keep this going. Seriously, I was very excited. So, thank you, everyone. Okay, let's get the shout-outs. Ready? Let's do some shout-outs. Oh, hold on a second. Here we go. Yeah, there was an error, a Stream Elements error, or a Stream Labs error, and I had to refresh. So, shout out to Chef Venus, who did 2 super chats this morning. The first one said, here's to 13 more years, brother. And the other one says, are you okay with people disagreeing with your pre-stream yesterday? People have access to different information, and many won't share that view. People can believe whatever they want. All I wanted to do yesterday when I talked on my pre-stream about vaccinations was to give you my quick perspective, all right, and let you know what, the history of what happened with me this year with vaccinations and stuff, and basically just tell you my take. You don't have to agree with my take. Everyone's free to believe whatever they want, So go right ahead and believe, don't believe, listen, don't listen. I can't make you do shit, right? I'm just a gamer, dude. I'm just here to chill and have fun with you guys. But a lot of people all year have been asking about it, and I felt at this point, since we're nearing the end of the year, I guess it was okay to finally talk about it. So I did, and that's that. It's over. We don't have to talk about it no more. Okay? All right. Tips. First of all, Archibald was the first tipper of the day with a $1.50 tip earlier. We already addressed his concern. Like I said, I really feel it was a timeout that was an accident. I don't think that anyone timed him out on purpose. I didn't see him say anything that warranted a timeout, so thank you for the tip, Archibald. Snow Carl to me $1.50 says, do you think using the word contribution when referring to donations or tips makes it easy to conflate a tip with a donation? No. Since contributions are mainly used when referring to charitable donations. Wrong. Not true at all. A contribution does not mean it has to be a charitable donation in any way. There's no association between the two words. A contribution, in a very textbook sense of the word, means something that you contribute to a greater whole, right? When you contribute to my stream, you're allowing me to operate my stream and keep doing it. That's not a donation. That's a tip. As I said many, 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 many times, I don't accept donations. I accept tips. There you go. Rob on Wheels has tipped me $5. Says, keep being who you are, mate. We got you. Thank you very much, Rob on Wheels, for the biggest tip of the day. And let's get that up on the leaderboard. Oops. Very nice. Thank you, Rob. And that gets us up to $7 in tips. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening for the pre-stream. Let's take a quick break. During this break, I'm going to use the restroom. I urge you to grab a drink or a snack, use the restroom yourselves or whatever it is that you may need to do. And when I come back from this quick break, it's going to be the continuation of Deathloop. Like I said, likely it'll be the conclusion if things go well. But there's never a guarantee that things are going to go well. I don't know actually how things will go on this stream. We have 2 targets to try to figure out how to assassinate, and then the big finale where in one day I tried to do everything. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your support and your patience. I will be back in a few minutes with Deathloop Endgame. Thank you, and I will see you all then. All right, see you in a bit. Cool.